me and Aaron have is very healthy, and it's very gentle. It's very soft, and it's very kind, and it's very sweet, and it's very warm. And it's one of the best feelings that I've ever had.
This is the moment everything shattered. Two men, two different pasts, but one name at the center of their heartbreak, betrayal, and ultimate regret. Teyanna Taylor. Iman Shumpert. The world knew him as the loyal NBA husband, the one who stood proudly beside Teyanna for years, defending her, praising her, loving her through everything. And Aaron Pierre, the rising British actor who was supposed to be her fresh start, her redemption story, her clean slate after chaos. But now, both men are done being silent. In a series of explosive confessions, Iman and Aaron are speaking out for the first time, and what they're saying will leave your jaw on the floor. Because it turns out, everything the public believed about Teyanna Taylor was a lie. From hidden manipulation to secret tapes, from emotional traps to behind-the-scenes power plays, what's now unraveling is so twisted, so shocking, and so toxic, even Teyanna's closest friends are turning on her. And the wildest part? Aaron and Iman didn't plan this together. They came forward independently, unaware the other was finally revealing the same horrifying truth about the woman they once loved. Screenshots have surfaced, phone calls have leaked, and the industry is panicking. Because if what they're saying is true, Teyanna Taylor isn't just misunderstood. She might be one of the most manipulative women in Hollywood history. But what made these men finally break? What really happened behind the cameras? And how deep does the damage go? Stay tuned, because once you hear what these two men reveal, you'll never look at Teyanna the same again. To understand the level of emotional devastation about to unfold, you have to go back, way back, to where it all began. Because this isn't just another celebrity breakup. This is the implosion of a legacy, the unraveling of a carefully curated narrative, and the disturbing downfall of a woman once hailed as the ultimate ride or die. Let's start with Iman Shumpert, NBA champion, style icon, family man. When he and Teyanna Taylor first went public with their relationship, fans were obsessed. They were the edgy fairy tale, the hip-hop royalty that felt real. While other celebrity couples came and went, Teyanna and Iman built a brand on being unapologetically in love, raising their daughter, starring in reality shows, and posting viral couple content that seemed too perfect to ever crack. But according to people close to Iman, some cracks were forming long before the cameras ever caught on. Behind the scenes, sources say Iman began feeling controlled, emotionally sidelined, and strategically managed. Everything had to go through Teyanna, one former assistant claimed. She ran the house, the brand, the business. Iman was the face, but Teyanna was the puppet master. And then came the 2021 incident, a quiet but deeply unsettling shift. Iman was arrested at the airport for marijuana possession, and while Teyanna remained silent publicly, those close to the situation say she completely distanced herself from him in private, allegedly refusing to pay legal fees and blaming him for messing up the brand. From that moment forward, everything changed. Their once unshakable love began to dissolve. Fans noticed the chemistry on their reality show drifting. Teyanna began posting more solo content. And Iman? He all but vanished from her timeline. Fast forward to 2023. The official separation is announced. Teyanna claimed it was peaceful, amicable, and that there was still love. But those inside Iman's circle painted a much darker picture. He felt used, one insider said. He gave her everything. She gave him strategy. And just when the dust started to settle, enter Aaron Pierre, a gifted British actor known for his breakout roles and smooth demeanor. Aaron appeared in Teyanna's life like the start of a new season. Rumors swirled that the two were quietly seeing each other. Paparazzi caught glimpses. Fans speculated. But no one expected what came next. A full-blown romantic reveal. Glossy Instagram stories, flirty red carpet moments, and Teyanna posting cryptic captions like, "New energy, Aksame goddess." The internet went wild. People declared Aaron the upgrade, a clean slate, a better match. But the truth? It was a fantasy wrapped in aesthetics. Because behind that curated chemistry was a man being drawn into the exact same spiral Iman barely escaped from. At first, Aaron seemed smitten. But over time, his expressions in photos shifted. His interviews became stiffer. One fan pointed out that in one red carpet appearance, he didn't even make eye contact with Teyanna for over 10 minutes. Something was off. Then came the disappearance. No more public posts, no more events. And suddenly, Aaron was out. Gone, silent, wiped from the picture. Just like Iman before him. But no one expected Aaron Pierre to speak out. Until now. As in a shocking audio recording, verified by multiple sources, Aaron confesses to a friend that his time with Teyanna was emotionally draining, professionally destructive, and psychologically terrifying. He says, "I thought I found someone who understood the industry grind, who got me. But what I walked into was manipulation masked as empowerment. I lost work, friends, and nearly my sense of self." And it doesn't stop there. Aaron claims Teyanna would strategically isolate him from other industry contacts, schedule overlapping events to keep him dependent on her calendar, and once told him, "We don't need other people. We are the narrative." It was a line that chilled him and would later haunt him. But the most jaw-dropping part? Aaron said she often compared him to Iman, almost as if she were running a psychological experiment. She'd say, "You're not like him. That's why you'll last longer." And then, the same cycle started again. The patterns were identical. The control, the silencing, the image-first mentality. And that's when Aaron broke. He ended it, cut off contact, and retreated into what insiders are calling career rehab. But just as this story began gaining steam, something else happened. Iman Shumpert reemerged. In a rare appearance on a late-night podcast, Iman dropped one line that sent shockwaves across the internet. "Sometimes the person you protect the most is the one who writes your downfall." He didn't name names. He didn't have to. And just like that, fans began connecting the dots. Two men, same woman, same patterns, same emotional aftermath. And while some tried to dismiss it as bitterness, more voices began surfacing. On stylists, background dancers, assistants, people who had worked with Teyanna started anonymously submitting stories to gossip blogs and forums, describing her as charming on camera, but terrifying behind the scenes. Now the question looms, was Teyanna Taylor never the victim? Has she been the architect of emotional destruction this entire time? We're not even in the thick of it yet. Because what comes next? Screenshots, leaked voice notes, industry reactions, and one massive twist that turns everything on its head. The moment everything blew up didn't come from a news outlet. It didn't come from a verified post. It didn't come from a carefully curated PR statement like so many celebrity scandals do. It came from a leak. A single, raw, and completely unfiltered leak. A voice recording that would trigger a media explosion unlike anything we've seen in Teyanna Taylor's career. And no, it wasn't leaked by a tabloid. It was posted to a private Discord group, a secret chat room of inner industry producers and digital gossip hounds. The clip wasn't supposed to see daylight, but it got out, and once it did, there was no going back. The clip was nearly 2 minutes long, and in it, Aaron Pierre could be heard speaking candidly to someone labeled Jay in the chat. The audio was muffled, slightly echoey, probably recorded without Aaron knowing. But what he said? It was devastating. "I lost myself with her. You think you're building something, and then one day you realize you're just a prop in her movie. That's all I was, a storyline, a distraction from whatever she didn't want people seeing behind the scenes." The voice shook. Aaron wasn't angry. He sounded drained, done, betrayed. And as if that wasn't enough, Aaron continued. She compared me to Iman constantly, like I was a correction. She'd say, "I don't need another man who crumbles under pressure. You're stronger, right?" That messes with your mind, bro. You start believing it, until you realize she's playing the same damn game again. Once that recording hit Twitter and TikTok, the storm began. The audio went viral in under 3 hours. Hashtag Teyanna exposed trended by sunset. Fans began digging through old interviews, dissecting Aaron's expressions, Iman's subtle body language in red carpet photos, old tweets Teyanna had deleted. And then, the first fake apology appeared. As an account claiming to be a close friend of Aaron, Pierre, posted a tweet saying, "Aaron regrets the leak. He was venting. This doesn't reflect how he feels about Teyanna as a person." But fans weren't buying it. The tone was too PR polished, the language too neat. And hours later, another account, allegedly connected to a hairstylist who worked on a recent Teyanna shoot, claimed that the message was written by Teyanna's team, using burner accounts to control the narrative. The attempt backfired spectacularly. Now the public was fully engaged, not just with the drama, but with the cover-up. And just when things seemed to hit peak chaos, Iman Shumpert broke his silence. Out of nowhere, the retired NBA star went live on Instagram, his face dimly lit in his home gym late at night. No PR filter, no script. I'm just a man who had clearly been holding in pain for years. I wasn't going to say nothing. I didn't want to do this internet back and forth. But hearing Aaron's words, it hit. Because that man ain't lying. The comment section exploded. Thousands of people flooded the chat. Say more. Expose her. Is this about the therapy thing? Iman continued. I gave that woman my everything. I was a champion. I put my legacy on hold to build a family, a brand, a life. But behind the scenes, she didn't want a partner. She wanted a puppet. And when I stopped dancing, she moved on to the next. He took a long pause, wiped his face. I've healed. But I'm not going to sit back and let people think this man is crazy. He's not. He's just where I was a few years ago, confused, hurt, and trying to piece himself back together. Boom. The floodgates opened, and more people came forward. Makeup artists, stylists, tour managers, all anonymously. But their stories aligned too perfectly to be coincidence. One message submitted to a blog read, Teyanna once told me, "Never let a man think he's ahead. You can love him, but control is everything." Another message from a music video editor claimed, she'd always pick men that looked good with her. How they looked alone didn't matter. It was all about optics. And when the look got stale, she moved on. This wasn't just about romantic manipulation anymore. This was about a pattern. A systemic, calculated cycle of public love, private breakdown, public exit, and fresh start. But what happened next turned the drama from bad to radioactive. A leaked email, allegedly from a music label executive, surfaced and sent shockwaves through the industry. The email, dated 6 months prior, read, "We need to get ahead of the Pierre narrative. Teyanna's brand cannot afford another emotional scandal. Consider a staged breakup with a mutual spin. No casualties, no surprises." Screenshots showed the email was sent to 3 people. One of them had a Teyanna-affiliated domain. And guess what? Hours later, the email was scrubbed, deleted from every major repost, copyright strikes, DMCA takedowns. But it was too late. The internet had receipts. And now fans were asking, how much of her public life is fake? Was every relationship a PR strategy? Are we watching a marketing genius or a master manipulator? Then came the first twist no one saw coming. A third man stepped forward. As someone who had only briefly been associated with Teyanna in 2019, an up-and-coming director who worked on a short film she co-produced. He posted a cryptic TikTok with the caption, I tried to warn y'all back in 2019. She did me dirty too. Different kind of dirty. Industry dirty. Fans began digging, and what they found was chilling. Old messages, pulled funding, legal threats, and once again, Teyanna controlling the narrative. Suddenly, this wasn't just about relationships. It was about career sabotage, mental manipulation, and industry-level silencing tactics. And the question began circulating louder than ever. How many people has Teyanna Taylor quietly destroyed behind the scenes? And more importantly, how far is she willing to go to protect her image? But if you thought that was the end of it, you're wrong. Because buried deep in one of Aaron's leaked messages was a name. A woman's name. Someone from Teyanna's past. And when fans figured out who it was, they uncovered a connection so twisted, so wild, and so damning. It changes everything we thought we knew about this situation. Just when fans thought they had pieced the puzzle together, Aaron Pierre's heartbreak, Iman Shumpert's emotional testimony, and the alleged manipulation that left both men emotionally wrecked, everything changed again. And this time, the twist didn't come from a man. It came from a woman whose name had quietly disappeared from headlines years ago. Enter Bria Daniels. She's not a household name, not a mainstream celebrity. But if you followed Teyanna Taylor's early career days, before the flashy collaborations, the red carpets, and in the label power plays, you'll remember Bria as the first woman ever publicly linked to Teyanna in what many described as an experimental relationship. But what the public didn't know, until now, is that Bria wasn't just a fling or a phase. She was the first person to call out Teyanna's manipulative behavior, but was immediately shut down by publicists, silenced by legal teams, and dismissed as jealous and unstable by Teyanna's fan base. For years, Bria stayed quiet, until the Aaron and Iman drama pulled her name back into the spotlight, not by accident, but because of a single line in a leaked message Aaron allegedly sent to a close friend. Sometimes I feel like I'm reliving Bria's situation. The internet snapped to attention. Who's Bria? Why does Aaron know about her? And more importantly, what happened to her? And it didn't take long for fans to dig up Bria's now dormant Instagram account. In the span of 24 hours, her follower count jumped by 90,000. DMs flooded in. And then, a bomb dropped. Bria broke her silence, not through a tweet, not on TikTok. She released a full-length YouTube video titled, "What They Did to Me, The Truth About Teyanna Taylor." And it was devastating. The video opened with Bria sitting on a couch, her hands visibly trembling, eyes glassy with tears. She took a deep breath and began, "I've stayed silent for almost a decade. I've watched her build a brand off of being strong, powerful, independent, and I said nothing. But watching Iman and Aaron speak their truths reminded me that my silence didn't protect me. It just protected her. And that ends now." What followed was a 40-minute roller coaster of confession and revelation that reshaped the public's understanding of Teyanna Taylor forever. Bria described meeting Teyanna during a creative workshop in New York. She was young, ambitious, and naive. Teyanna, already industry-connected, offered to mentor her, promising collabs and exposure. She made me feel like I was chosen, like I had something special no one else saw. I didn't realize I was being isolated, groomed, controlled. Bria described how Teyanna slowly eroded her friendships, managed who she talked to, when she posted, and even what she wore. At one point, she had the password to my phone, told me it was for branding consistency. I believed her because I loved her. But then came the real shocker. Bria revealed that after a minor disagreement over nothing more than a video shoot schedule, Teyanna ghosted her completely, then issued a cease and desist warning her to never speak about their professional relationship again. She made me sign something under duress. I didn't even understand the legal terms. I just wanted to fix things. And within 2 weeks, Bria said, her career vanished. Every connection she had dried up. Collabs were canceled. Studio time disappeared. She was blackballed. She didn't just leave me, she erased me. She made it so I couldn't work in the same circles again. The video closed with a quiet, haunting sentence. I know I'm not the only one. The video amassed 5.3 million views in 36 hours. Comments poured in, some skeptical, others sympathetic, but the vast majority were horrified. And then, Teyanna responded. On her Instagram story, she posted a black screen with white text. I refuse to feed the lies. You want attention? You got it. But you will not rewrite history. Fans were stunned by the coldness. Wait, that's the best she could do? Where's the denial? Where's the compassion? She didn't even say Bria's name. But Teyanna wasn't done. An hour later, she posted a photo of herself in full glam with the caption, "Unbothered. Always have been. Always will be." The backlash was instant. The post was bombarded with snake emojis. Verified users started unfollowing. A viral thread emerged listing every artist who had distanced themselves from Teyanna in the past 2 years. The list? Shocking. Names like Janelle Monáe, Kehlani, Solange, even Missy Elliott. Ara, who once praised Teyanna as the future of artistry, was suddenly suspiciously quiet. And the most jaw-dropping turn? A clip from a 2018 red carpet interview resurfaced, one where a very young Zendaya, when asked about Teyanna, gives a hesitant pause before saying, "She's definitely intense. You have to know how to move with her." The crowd never noticed at the time, but now, in this new context, it sounded like a warning. Teyanna's reputation, once untouchable, was unraveling by the second. Meanwhile, Iman Shumpert's team announced he'd be appearing on an upcoming podcast titled Men Who Tried to Heal Her. Pierre, though still quiet, was reportedly in talks with Netflix for a limited docuseries based loosely on how the entertainment industry chews up emotionally intelligent men. The narrative was evolving. This was no longer about a breakup. This wasn't just two men speaking out. This was about an alleged pattern of psychological control, career sabotage, and the collapse of a carefully maintained public persona. And just when fans thought the worst was over, screenshots leaked from what appears to be a private group chat between Teyanna's former dancers. One message read, "Sis used to rank us based on weight. Called it the visual balance chart. She said if we looked off-brand, we'd be edited out." Another added, "She told me once, the audience doesn't care about your feelings. They care about how clean your lines look." And that was on the day I told her I sprained my ankle. Another twist, another layer. This wasn't just about men anymore. This was about everyone around her. But what happens when the industry starts choosing sides? And what if someone even bigger than Aaron, Iman, or Bria is about to speak out? Because according to one anonymous source, there's a superstar, a billionaire woman, who has receipts that could end this all for Teyanna. And she's been waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The internet was already boiling when Bria Daniels' expose video dropped. But what happened next sent the entire industry into an unstoppable meltdown. Within minutes of Bria's clip hitting the trending tab on YouTube, fans across all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, even Reddit, began dissecting every frame, analyzing her tone, her body language, even the placement of items in the background to confirm the authenticity. Hashtag #BriaSpeaks became the #1 worldwide trend in under 2 hours. And then, in a moment no one saw coming, a previously deleted tweet from 2020 was unearthed. A cryptic line from Bria herself, posted years before anyone knew she had history with Teyanna. "The way y'all worship wolves in sheep's clothing is terrifying. Some of us got the bite marks to prove it." Thousands of retweets. Tens of thousands of quote tweets. Everyone now believed she had been trying to speak out for years, but nobody listened. Suddenly, the entire internet turned. Fan pages that had once worshipped Teyanna's every move went dead silent. Big-name influencers began issuing reaction videos with titles like, I can't believe we missed this. Teyanna Taylor gaslit us all? Was it all just a performance? Even some of her closest industry allies began walking back their support. A viral clip from a 2021 interview resurfaced where Kalani, when asked about collaborating with Teyanna, replied, "She's got a very specific energy. You just gotta be ready for it." At the time, it came off as a vague compliment. Now, it sounded like a subtle cry for help. Then came the celebrity reactions. And this is where things got even more chaotic. Doja Cat took to Threads and posted, "People love to call women crazy until it's too late. Watching this unfold is making me revisit some of my own stories. Y'all not ready." Summer Walker commented under Bria's video, "I felt every word, praying for your peace." Keke Palmer, who'd stayed quiet until now, dropped a single tweet that made fans lose it. "Y'all wanted the tea. Well, here it is, served hot and bitter." But the biggest name to weigh in? Beyoncé. Not directly, of course. She doesn't move that way. But the Bayhive noticed something instantly. Teyanna's Ivy Park x Adidas promo collab was quietly pulled from the website. No explanation, no warning. And shortly after, a leaked email screenshot from an Adidas marketing contractor confirmed what everyone suspected. Due to recent developments, all digital assets associated with the TT campaign are to be temporarily disabled pending legal review. Beyoncé doesn't speak with words. She speaks with power moves. And this one said it loud and clear. Teyanna Taylor was no longer protected. Even major publications began shifting their tone. Headlines went from "Teyanna Taylor speaks her truth" to "Pattern of control." Multiple accusations emerge against Teyanna Taylor. And then came the public petitions. One, titled "Hold Teyanna Accountable, Stop Silencing Survivors." Each garnered over 150,000 signatures in 48 hours. Another campaign demanded that brands like Reebok and MAC Cosmetics sever ties with Teyanna, citing their stance on mental wellness and ethical branding. The division was now deep. On one side, a wave of betrayed fans, survivors of emotional abuse, and former supporters who felt lied to for years. On the other, a shrinking but still vocal group of Teyanna defenders, claiming this was a smear campaign against a strong Black woman in power. But even among the defenders, doubt was growing, especially after a behind-the-scenes clip from a 2022 photo shoot leaked. In the video, never meant for public release, Teyanna is heard screaming at a young assistant saying, "If you want to cry, go to the bathroom. You don't get to be weak on my set." The tone, cold, ruthless. The assistant, barely 20 years old and visibly shaken. The clip was only 45 seconds long, but it confirmed what so many had described in whispers. And suddenly, even her die-hard fans began to fall silent. Meanwhile, Iman Shumpert's podcast episode finally aired, and it broke every record the platform had. In the clip, he goes deeper than ever before, sharing, "People think abuse is only physical, but emotional warfare? That stuff lasts longer. You stop trusting yourself. You question every move. And when the world loves your abuser, it makes you feel like you're the crazy one." The silence after that line? Deafening. And just when you thought the reactions couldn't get more intense, a final surprise came from the most unlikely voice of all, Cardi B. During an Instagram Live while doing her makeup, she casually dropped, "Y'all remember when I said some women can be worse than the men? This what I meant. Watch the patterns. Watch how they move when the spotlight ain't on them." Fans instantly linked the statement to the Teyanna situation. And that's when it hit maximum saturation. Teyanna Taylor's name was on every screen, every feed, every timeline. But it wasn't just her name trending. Bria Daniels was now on a nationwide talk show tour. Pierre's docuseries deal was officially greenlit. Iman Shumpert was being hailed as a symbol of Black male vulnerability. And Teyanna? she went dark. Her socials? Deactivated. Her team? Silent. Her publicist? No comment. And when TMZ paparazzi finally caught her stepping out of a hidden side entrance in Los Angeles, surrounded by tight-lipped bodyguards, the look on her face said it all. She wasn't just trying to survive a scandal. She was running from a collapsing empire. But just when fans thought the saga had reached its final act, one last bombshell was about to drop. A surprise appearance, a recorded message, and a twist so chilling, it makes everything before it look like a warm-up. Just when the dust seemed to be settling, when the social media frenzy hit a slow crawl, when Bria Daniels was finally breathing freely again, when Iman Shumpert's vulnerable honesty had won him waves of praise, the final, most unexpected twist hit like a thunderclap across the industry. And it didn't come from a post, a podcast, or a press conference. It came from a leaked voice memo. The source? An alleged former assistant of Teyanna Taylor, only known online as Indigo X Leaks. The 47-second voice recording, I posted at 2:17 a.m. on a now-suspended account, instantly lit up the darkest corners of Reddit and X. Within 10 minutes, the audio was being reposted with captions like, "No way Teyanna actually said this." This changes everything. And when fans hit play, what they heard sent chills down their spines. In a clearly agitated voice, allegedly Teyanna is heard saying, "Let them talk, let them cry, let them post their little videos. You think I got this far by being nice? Nah, I control the story, I always have." The tone was cold, calculated, arrogant. And the worst part? You could hear her laughing at the end. A soft, sharp laugh that didn't sound like confidence. It sounded like someone who never thought she'd get caught. Immediately, the internet erupted again. The voice? Unmistakably hers. And the background hum matched previous behind-the-scenes clips from her studio. Even her cadence, how she drops her R's, the way she says nah, it all aligned perfectly. Voice analysts weighed in. TikTok lip readers matched her tone and expressions to old footage. And a former stylist of hers liked a post titled, "The mask finally slips." This memo didn't just confirm suspicions, it rewrote the entire narrative. Suddenly, this wasn't about a woman being misunderstood. This wasn't about cancel culture. This was deliberate manipulation. An artist openly admitting that she engineered her own mythology, controlled others like chess pieces, and laughed at their pain behind closed doors. And the backlash? Immediate, unforgiving. Even her last loyal defenders had no words. And one fan account that had spent years worshipping Teyanna's image posted a now viral tweet. "I feel sick. I defended her. I excused the red flags. We were all fooled." But it wasn't just fans who reacted. Pierre's camp released a chilling response just 6 hours later. "We always believed the truth would surface. This isn't vindication. This is confirmation of trauma, and we stand with every voice that was silenced for years." Iman Shumpert, who had been staying quiet since his podcast drop, pinned a new tweet. She laughed. After all that hurt, she laughed. And then, the message that shattered the final illusion came from someone no one expected. A voicemail from Teyanna's own mother leaked to a fan blog. In the audio, Mama Taylor, once Teyanna's strongest defender, sounded exhausted, somber, and broken. I tried to tell her. Fame can't fix what you hide from. I begged her to apologize before this blew up. But now, I can't protect her from this storm. Let that sink in. Her own mother, distancing herself publicly. The story had spiraled beyond damage control. This was collapse. A freefall from grace with every safety net already burned. But just as the internet began to absorb the magnitude of that final memo, another twist slammed the brakes on the entire narrative. A second voice memo, this one from a man. The voice? Deep, calm, familiar. Chris Brown, Yes, that Chris Brown. In a surprising twist of loyalty or shared experience, Chris posted a story clip confirming he was the mystery person Teyanna called just minutes after her Bria Daniels fallout years ago. He said, "Y'all don't know the real story. I got that call. I heard it all. She ain't heartless. She was scared. She told me she messed up, that she panicked, that she felt abandoned and used too." Suddenly, things weren't so black and white anymore. Was Teyanna a monster? Or a product of a toxic industry that turned her into one? Was she a mastermind of abuse? Or a broken soul lashing out before someone else could hurt her? Was the laugh in that audio a mask cracking? Or someone on the edge of emotional collapse? No one knew anymore. And just like that, the cycle of division reignited. Some said, "Too little, too late. She made her bed. Let her lie in it." Others responded, "She's not a villain. She's human. She needs help, not humiliation." And as the debate roared on, a new final hashtag began trending. Hashtag Teyanna unfiltered a storm of support, shame, anger, and confusion. Because now, no one could tell where the truth stopped and manipulation began. But one thing was certain. The story wasn't over. Not even close. Because according to an unnamed Netflix producer on a leaked call, there's a docuseries already in the works titled "The Real Taylor Behind the Smoke and Mirrors." And the closing quote? "You've heard Aaron, you've heard Iman, you've heard Bria. Now it's Teyanna's turn, and she's ready to speak." Whew, that was a lot. We just witnessed a story unfold that nobody could have predicted, not even the most hardcore fans. From betrayal to breakdowns, leaked tapes to industry exile, this drama exposed more than just a relationship. It cracked open a web of lies, ego, pain, and power. But now the question is, where do you stand? Drop your thoughts below. Do you believe Iman and Aaron are finally telling their truth? Was Teyanna really manipulating her way through Hollywood? Or is she the misunderstood victim of an industry that turns people into monsters? And let's get messy, because we know y'all have opinions. Was Bria Daniels brave or opportunistic? Did Chris Brown's last-minute defense change your view? Is the Netflix docuseries going to reveal even more secrets? We want to hear every single take. The comment section is officially open for court, so bring your receipts, your wildest theories, and your unfiltered emotions. We'll be featuring the spiciest comments in our next update video. And trust, it's going to be a big one. Make sure to smash that like button if you were glued to this story. Please subscribe and hit the bell because the next twist? It's already brewing, and you do not want to miss it. And if you're brave enough to pick a side, type Team Iman, Team Teyanna, or Team Truth in the comments to let the world know. This isn't just another scandal. This is a moment where the masks came off, and everyone got burned. The truth is still unraveling. So stay tuned, because next time, it might be your favorite celeb caught in the storm, and we'll be right here to break it all down. See you in the next one.